If you're thinking of going to GalaxyCon, do not go ahead and refund that ticket. Let me tell you why. This past weekend, GalaxyCon had people pay $1,400 for a table that was not in the artist alley, that was not in the exhibitor hall. To make it even worse, they didn't even have signage that would lead you to where the other artists were at. Those artists had to get together and work till like 3 a.m. to make their own signage to hopefully direct people to where they were at. It was in an entirely different building from the main exhibit hall. I wasn't a victim this time in particular, but one of my friends was, and the story that she shares is absolutely ridiculous. I put a link to it in my bio, it's at the top. But I'm going to tell you guys how they scammed me in January. I'm going to share with you guys my experience and when I was scammed by GalaxyCon. So initially, I was waitlisted for a table and I was reached out to, and I was told that I would be in like a part B kind of the artist alley. This was untrue. This was just false. They actually placed me like in a hallway by the exit of the convention center, and Animate is much smaller than GalaxyCon. So this was in Animate January 2025. My table, and there's the door. And while it wasn't $1,400, it was a full price artist alley table. When I tell you that the first day of that convention, I think I made $15, and my first and only sale was at 6 p.m. that evening, and it was from somebody who I knew who felt bad about my situation. So the next day, I beg and I beg and I beg and I beg to please move down to the artist alley. And eventually they moved me down to like that part B that they initially told me that I was going to be at. So while I was moving and setting up, some young women that were in the artist alley had come over to see us, and they were like, hey, there's a lot of empty tables in the artist alley. Would you guys like to see them? Maybe you could ask for some of these. So they walked me over, and Kurt, the organizer for the artist alley, called. He starts cussing me out. He's like, you can't move. I saw you walk over there with them. You can't have any of those tables. They're all sold out. Blah, 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 blah. Mind you, by the end of the convention, there were still empty tables in the artist alley. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'll just go and like sit at my little table. And I think by the end of it, I ended up making back table and just like zeroing out. I didn't make anything that convention. The way the organizer, Kurt, treats paying customers, the way he talked to me is absolutely abhorrent. And then instead of coming and checking on us like a lot of organizers do, he would just come and like walk to the corner to make sure I was still at my table all weekend. The worst part is that they're still doing this practice. They're still making artists pay for full price tables and placing them completely away from the exhibitor hall, from the artist alley. This happened at Animate. I saw it happen at GalaxyCon Richmond, and it happened again this weekend at GalaxyCon Raleigh. So until something changes and until Kurt takes like a customer service class or something, do not give GalaxyCon your money. Like, I know it's a big con and I know it's fun, but they are literally like scamming the people that make the convention work.